In this video, I show you guys my 5-drawer mechanics tool cart and then do a little bit of a breakdown on the cost of how much it costs for my box. Then I give you guys some recommendations. So if you guys want to do this at home, you guys can set yourself up with a really nice box. So before we get into this video, obviously this isn't our trivial content that we do. We're usually wrenching on old cars and stuff here on this channel. But I just thought this was a really good idea for a video in case if there's some of you guys at home that are trying to put a box together or trying to figure out what tools you want to buy. And I figured if I can give you guys my opinion and maybe a little bit of advice, that would be a lot of value to you. I do have another video kind of in the works in the background if you guys want to see it on my 44-inch box that's out in our main shop. If you guys want to see that in, type of content, definitely let me know down in the comment section. I think it opens up a conversation. So if there's any of you guys at home that are trying to do this, I can give some of my input, and then some other well-experienced guys that you're going to find down in the comment sections can also have a place to give their opinion. So if there's someone that's new to this, trying to get into the market and figure out what to buy, you guys have some options and some ideas going forward with what you guys want to do with your box. So here she is, my 5-drawer mechanics tool cart. Probably owned this one about a little over a year now. Starting up top, we have all of my ratchets and sockets. Socket sets aren't fully complete. It's pretty much all the leftover stuff that I think I had from an old Cobalt set. And honestly, all of these sockets for the most part are all 12-point, which I don't like. I think some of my quarter inch stuff here is the 6-point. Really prefer 6 point over the 12, but they get the job done. The ratchets in here are pretty much leftovers of these don't make the cut for, the big boy box. But, we still have a bunch of stuff in here that gets the job done. Favorite ratchet out of all of them, believe it or not, and it's probably one of the cheapest ones, is this Pittsburgh 3/8 long handle flex head ratchet. Use that one all the time. I also have the flex head icon one, which I like using that one a bunch too. But none of these are anything special. I think this is a Craftsman one that I picked up at a flea market or something. That's a gear wrench flex head as well. That's in the 1/4 inch size. The old school Craftsman, and this isn't like one of the new ones that you go buy at Lowe's. This is old school Sears stuff right there. That was also, I think, a flea market find. For my 1/2 inch stuff, I got the big Pittsburgh one. That works pretty good. I have this old the Craftsman one here. I actually broke it a few years ago, but it still kind of works, so I just kind of threw it in here. And I think, got the breaker bar here as well. This is a smaller Craftsman one. It's not a super big one, because then I actually have the mother of all breaker bars, especially the budget breaker bars down here. The old Pittsburgh one. Some of the stuff that you can get away with using this on and watching the whole thing bend but not break. All my extensions is the Pittsburgh set. Kind of stinks. Sometimes the wobble set is very nice and other times it's not. But again, you can pick it up for cheap, so that's why we got it. I got another set of the Pittsburgh pry bars. I said in the last video, I love those pry bars for how cheap they are, and they just work. And when they break, I go get another one. Moving down, I got all my screwdrivers in this drawer, drill bits. Like I said, this is all leftover stuff that used to be this. I think this is the first ever screwdriver set I got when I was 12. And the ones that have survived are still, kicking and doing a thing. These are some Pittsburgh ones. These are kind of junky, but, they work. Next drawer over, got all of my hammers, and most of this stuff is just used stuff that's been given to me. But once again, if it works and it ain't broke, no need to fix it. Pliers down here. When I upgraded to the Quins, I bought pretty much almost all the Pittsburgh ones over in the here. And like I said, it saves me the trip of having to walk all the way out in the garage to grab something. Next drawer down, getting into the longer drawers, is all of my wrenches. Now, they're mostly Pittsburgh wrenches. I'll be honest with you, the Pittsburgh wrenches don't fit on bolts and nuts as nicely as I'd like them to, but considering you can get an SAE and a metric set for ridiculously cheap, it's one of those things, can't go wrong. The ratcheting ones have actually held up pretty well too. Got a bunch of old Craftsman ones that were given to me. I think some of these came from that wholesale store, literally $5 for a box end wrench that's incredibly beefy, and it's a proto, and it's made in the USA. I will take that any day of the week. What's this one? Oh, that's that fifth. Oh, this is another one. What I pay $3 for that one. Yes, once again, proto. Gotta love the wholesale store that I go to, because then those two guys over there too. So they work really, really good. Like I said, the wrench setup, could I get better? Yeah, but you know what? When I'm in here and I'm just kind of messing around with stuff, this stuff does the job. Down in the bottom drawer, it's empty right now, except for my Quinn Digital 3/8 torque wrench. I do also have some cordless stuff that I keep in this box. It's all Ryobi stuff that I bought when I first started out. That stuff bounces back and forth between this box and my pack out set for when we go to junkyards and do revivals. One of the big add-ons that I did too, because obviously when you buy this cart, they give you the cart and then this little tray, which the tray is super nice for just holding stuff. Normally it's not over here, it's actually over here, but I put it here because I went and bought the tray. And then, of course, I went out and bought the electrical strip, and then have 2 chargers here just so I can kind of keep everything condensed in one area so I don't have to constantly run out and grab other stuff. But really, that's pretty much it. There's not much to it. A lot of it is just leftover tools that I got or, you know, picked up for cheap just to have something in this box. So when we're wrenching on, you know, those things, we got stuff in here to do that. You don't need the most expensive stuff to do a job. You just don't. Like I said, for how often I'm in here actually physically wrenching on something, this is more than adequate to get the job done. All right, I'm back in my office here. I wanted to sit down, hop on the computer here, and actually do a full cost breakdown. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to quite show you the full cost of everything in my box, just because stuff was given to me and it was bought through other bits and pieces of stuff, but everything from the box to all the Harbor Freight tools in it, I wanted to do a full breakdown. All right, so I went on Harbor Freight's website, and just about everything that I could find that I know physically exists in that box, I went ahead here and threw it a Harbor Freight cart to show you the cost of everything. So I have the universal joint adapters there. I have the Pittsburgh wobble socket extension set, the Pittsburgh stubby wrenches, the pry bar sets, the different types of hammers from the ball peen, dead blow, mini sledge, regular hammer, the Pittsburgh plier sets in there, the big 22-piece Pittsburgh SAE and metric set, the ratcheting wrenches, which they cost a little more than I remember them being, so but we have a solution for that. We got that breaker bar. I do have the Quinn 3/8 digital torque wrench in there. That might not be something you need, but again, this is what's in my box. I want to show you what's in my box and how much it all cost. We got the 1/2-inch flex head, long-handled Pittsburgh ratchet. We also have the 3/8 long head flex head ratchet, and then I also do have that Icon one in there. Now again, there's multiple other different ratchets in there. There's a few Craftsman ones, there's a gear wrench. Those aren't things I'm going to necessarily consider in the overall price because it's stuff that I paid for, stuff that isn't necessarily relevant to you. It doesn't mean that you can go out and do the same thing. You could, but I don't want to include that in the cost and throw off that number per se. And then again, like my whole screwdriver set, that was stuff that was given to me and that I kind of pieced together over a long period of time, so I can't necessarily put a cost on that. Could I substitute it? Yes, but I don't want to do that. But I don't want to do that for this cost here, but I will go ahead later and recommend a screwdriver set and recommend some different upgrades and stuff. So overall price of everything that we got going on here, it's $481. Now I know there's stuff missing. We talked about that, but you know, between the box, which is, you know, if you get it on sale, which I recommend getting on sale, do not pay full price for the 5-drawer cart. Don't do it. Unless you're super desperate. It goes on sale a few times of the year. Wait until it's $180, $190. That's going to be the best deal you're going to get on it. As far as it goes for power tools that I keep in this box, obviously, so I do have some power tools that I do intentionally keep in this box, but they bounce back and forth between my pack out set, So, during the spring and summer, and when I'm kind of out doing revivals or going to junkyards, all these tools will live in my pack out set. But when it comes, winter time, when I know I'm going to be home more, I'm going to be working in the shop more, we're going to be doing engine teardowns and stuff like that, I'll bring all those tools back in. I have Ryobi stuff. That's just the stuff that I bought when I first started. And again, you don't have to buy this stuff. You can go through Harbor Freight. You can buy whatever you want. I'm just telling you what's in my box, giving you a basic idea of what the breakdown cost is and just what it would look like. One of the things that I have is this Ryobi cordless ratchet. It's been really good for me. I think I've had it for 5 years, 6 years now. It's taken a beating, and again, with it being, it goes out on revivals with me, it goes to junkyards with me. This Ryobi ratchet arguably gets as beat as hard as my Milwaukee ones, if not a little bit harder, because I'm constantly taking it out and using it. It's been good. All right, so here is that pretty much the Ryobi drill and impact driver that I use, and that live in this box. Once again, they also go out in my pack out set as well, so they're constantly getting tossed back and forth. These two are newer-ish models of the ones that I own, because I bought mine out of a set. All right, so adding everything up in total, the box, the tools, all the tools I just showed you from Harbor Freight, and those Ryobi power tools that I bought and own, your total cost comes out to $851.82. Now, of course, that number is going to differ, but roughly this is what I have in this box, which isn't terrible. But there is a few things that I would change. The one other thing that I am excluding from this overall cost is the socket set. My socket set is a Cobalt set that I got out of one of those big sets from a kit years ago. I think it was given to me as like a 15 or 16 birthday present, so I didn't calculate that in it. But I will show you the cost of if you were to go buy all the equivalent sockets. I personally selected all the Quinn sockets, so I'll throw that price up for you now. I have a solution that's probably a little bit better than that, and then it's gonna exclude a lot more cost. So let's get into, if I were to change what I did for this box, or if I were to recommend setting this box up to one of you guys that are just trying to put a box together, I'm going to show you my recommendations now. How to get certain things, I would totally 100% buy this Master Technician set. $400, I know it could look a little steep, but when you actually look at the value of what you're getting here, and then I'll actually break it down and subtract all the Pittsburgh stuff that I bought, and then kind of replace it with the cost of this entire kit itself. One of the big things that I do really like about this set, you got all your sockets taken care of. We talked about that cost before of buying just the Quinn sets, the Quinn socket sets individually by themselves, and what was it, $168 or something like that. You subtract that off the cost here, and it drops it down quite a bit, and you still just get a ton of value out of this kit. One of the big things is they give you this bit set. That's something that I don't have in my toolbox. I 100% recommend having it. If I need bits like this, I have to go out to my main box and grab my Icon stuff. These are already in here, done deal. You buy the kit, you throw them in your mechanics cart, and you're done. Give you the adapters, which again, that's the cost that we talked about taking off. They give you spark plug sockets, which for me, doing engine, teardowns and stuff that we do, again, a lot of value there for me. You get the ratchets. Now, these ratchets might not be the best, but if you buy the ones necessarily that I recommended, you kind of have your stuff to do the majority of your main stuff. Maybe throw in another 1/4-inch ratchet, like a flex head type deal. But again, you get 3 basic ratchets, and it kind of adds to that value of that box. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have different ratchets. Obviously, you can buy out, like I did, individual ratchets from Harbor Freight or wherever you'd like to buy your ratchets, whatever brand you want. But it just gives you the base stuff, and that, for me, is huge. It gives you 2 breaker bars as well. That's awesome. It gives you a really good selection of extensions. What's really awesome about this kit too, some of them are wobble, some of them are not. That Pittsburgh set that I showed you, those are all wobbles. They have their benefits, and then there's other times where you just don't want your socket moving like that, and it gets so frustrating and so annoying at times. This gives you both options. You don't have to go spend the $10-14 it was for that Pittsburgh set. Really like that. Allen keys is kind of filler for this box, but there'd be times where you're going to need them. I can tell you personally, there's times that I need them and I don't have them necessarily in that box. Again, I got to go out to my main box and grab that kind of stuff. The bit driver set is actually kind of bigger than you think it is. I have that kind of stuff in that box and I do use it, but again, it just adds more value there. It gives you an extra little arsenal in your box, you know, and I really, really like that. The screwdriver set, this Quinn screwdriver set, if there was a set that I was going to recommend that you buy that is the best budget, best money spent, it's this Quinn set. The best part is they're included in this set. The set by itself for just these screwdrivers is probably, I think it's 27 bucks, give or take. And the fact that they include it in this kit, huge. These are awesome screwdrivers. I use them out in my main box all the time. I love these screwdrivers. Those Pittsburgh wrenches, I think I mentioned it earlier in this video, they work. Don't get me wrong, they are dirt cheap, they work, but the quality is not that great. Those wrenches don't fit bolts as nicely as other wrenches that I own do. These Quinn ones are going to be a little better than that. You're not going to get the stubby ones like the Pittsburgh stubby ones that I have in my box, but you get a really solid set of ratcheting ones. I'm going to tell you, these Quinn ratcheting wrenches are a million miles better than the Pittsburgh ones. And then just the regular combination wrenches are going to be way better than the Pittsburgh ones. And again, they're all in this kit. They make it so easy for you. You get the adjustable, you know, whatever. But overall, if I were to do it again, this is the kit that I'd buy. 400 bucks, I know it's a little steep, but I think it's really good. As far as it goes with other cheaper toolkits, you do have a lot of other options. Pittsburgh makes, there's 2 different kits specifically that I'm thinking of. There's their 301 piece set. I'm going to be honest with you though, it kind of offers the same stuff that the Quinn box does, but I personally don't like it because I've seen these kits before. I know guys that have had these and they're not a huge fan of the sockets, and then like the wrenches and stuff that they send you are not good wrenches. The pliers, the needle nose pliers and the cutters and all that kind of stuff are not good. I own a partial set of those screwdrivers that are actually in the box. I'm not a big fan of them. Honestly, I own the 225 piece mechanics tool set from Pittsburgh. That's my grab and go case, and I've used that and I've owned that thing for 5 years. In my personal opinion, the wrenches are kind of meh. The pliers and the cutters are all right. The screwdriver with the bit drivers are okay. The best part about this kit specifically is the sockets and the ratchets. I honestly think that the ratchets in this case are in the 301 piece set. You also do have other options if you want to outsource from Harbor Freight. Husky over at Home Depot, they have a lot of options. They have a 270 piece set. They also have a 290 piece set. I know guys that have the 270 and the 290. The 290 is going to be the little bit of the better quality, but it's going to cost you a lot more. Again, not as expensive as something on the lines of that Quinn set that I mentioned, but still, it's going to be solid for you. Personally, for me, with the 271, with it obviously being cheaper, I think a lot more people are going to be drawn to it. But in my personal opinion, the wrenches and some of their bit drivers and stuff, they're just not going to be as good as quality as you'd like them to be. And again, it's just, when you buy tool sets, a lot of the stuff is filler to make it seem like you're getting a lot. But a lot of it turns out to kind of be junk. That's why I like this Quinn set so much. And that's why I'm harping on the Quinn set as much as I am, because all this stuff, even if it is quote unquote filler, it's usable stuff that's decent. Like the bit driver set is going to be better in that Quinn set. Like literally the only real filler piece in this Quinn set is the Allen keys. But again, you have uses for the Allen keys, where the wrenches and the cutters and pliers and stuff like that out of the Pittsburgh case or the Husky case, I just don't think, in my personal opinion, are just not going to be as good. But again, that's your decision. It's your budget. It's your money. You guys do whatever you think is best and whatever you can afford. This is just my personal opinion. Overall thoughts, like I said, if I personally were to redo this cart again, the biggest change I would make would be buying the Quinn mechanic set over spending a whole bunch of money off of buying little bits here and there. I think I'd get, me personally, there's a lot more quantity out of just buying a mechanic set. And I think that's the best way to get your sockets too, is just doing that instead of going outright and buying them, because in these kits you get a lot of value with a lot of extra stuff that will help you fill this box out. The other thing that I definitely recommend too is a good set of pliers. I personally have and really like the Quinn plier set as well. I'm a big fan. So looking at our cost breakdown here, guys, get the box on sale. Get the 5-drawer mechanics cart on sale. Don't buy it outright. So that'd be $190, on sale, give or take. The hand tools, including the Quinn plier sets that I just mentioned, would be $379.88. And then obviously the Quinn mechanics set is $400. Now, when we're talking about the hand tools and that Quinn's mechanics set, something that you need to know and think about when you go to buy stuff from Harbor Freight is always check to see if there's a coupon. If you're an Inside Track Club member, always be looking at that kind of stuff even before you go to the store. A lot of times you're going to see a lot of the stuff here on sale that I mentioned, because for the most part here, the cost included for between the hand tools and then the Quinn mechanics set, there's a lot of times where everything that I mentioned can go on sale and you'll save a bunch more money, because you're literally staring down the barrel of almost $800 in hand tools. But, if you do your due diligence, watch and wait for coupons and, strategize how you're going to go buy this stuff, it can end up coming out to being a lot cheaper than that. Bouncing down to our power tools, I have $180 wrapped up in power tools between my drill, my impact, and my ratchet. And look, I know I can already hear the Milwaukee and the DeWalt guys, storming in through the door, and hell, there's a Snap-on guy too. Like, oh, well, my box costs, as much as all your tools and your box combined. Or, oh, Ryobi's garbage. Or, oh, anything Harbor Freight is garbage. All right, dude, congratulations. Not everybody's in the same position that you're in. So take 5 seconds and just calm down. But look, if there's any recommendation I'm going to make to guys just starting out in this, just be smart. Be smart with your money and how you spend it. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you are the one that's responsible for yourself, your family, and your bills. If you want to go out and buy all this expensive stuff, you want to go, buy a Snap-on cart, and you want to buy Snap-on tools, and you want to buy Milwaukee stuff to fill it, by all means, you do whatever you want, man. It's your money. I personally don't care. I'm just trying to give you some advice on, hey, don't spend that much money, because you can still get the job done paying less money, and it's going to help you more financially if you're just starting out, to spend this little amount of money compared to spending this big amount of money. I understand that they make very specific stuff that is just have to have it, crucial kind of stuff, but if you're just starting out, work up to that. Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. I'm not bashing companies like Milwaukee, DeWalt, Snap-on, any of the other tool trunk companies. I think as a community, we come from a place of we're too egotistical about materialistic things when we don't take the time to actually stop and look back and realize, like, hey, not everybody's in that position. Not everybody has the same opinion. And I feel like if we came from a place of having a little bit more respect for each other, the world would be a better place. So I'm not trying to knock anybody that uses more expensive tools. I'm just saying that it seems like it's too much of a stigma that you need to have this top dollar stuff to be the best. And I don't think that that's true. And there's a lot of people, and I'm sure there's some of you guys that are watching this video, that I feel like you guys agree with that. And I know people firsthand that don't use top quality stuff, and they're some of the best, smartest, most intelligent, talented guys that you will ever meet. Work on stuff and fix stuff and just make stuff happen. And that's what's important. Doing the job and being your personal best, not having the best tools. All right, wrapping this up here. Total cost estimate for my recommendations with the box, everything that's in it, would be a little over $1,100, heading towards maybe $1,200. And I think that's affordable, for a lot of guys in the trades that, depending on what you make, if you save up for 2-3 months, you can have that money ready to go to get yourself started, and like I said, guys, just be smart with your money. All right. I understand it's so tempting to want to buy all this new stuff, but just be patient. That's the best advice I can give, because I've been there, man. I've wasted money on stuff just because I wanted it. And then you take a look back over your financials over the year and you're like, wow, I blew all this money. Like, one of the big things I want to do now, I want to buy a bigger box for out in my main shop. I haven't done it yet. Why? Because I'm holding myself accountable that, yeah, as much as I'd like a new box, I just financially don't want to spend my money there right now. I just currently, in my current situation, what I have works for me. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys got some value out of it. It went a little longer than I wanted to, but I felt like there were just a few things that I really needed to take some time to discuss about. Hopefully this helps you guys, you know, make a decision on what you guys want to do. And if there was any value to this, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Once again, let me know down in the comment section if this is something that you guys like. It took a lot more effort than I thought it was going to make this video, to be honest with you. So if it's something that you guys want to see more of, definitely let me know. As always, get out in the shop, start making stuff happen. Dreams do not work unless you do. We'll see you next time here on Boneyard Revivals. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you later. Take care.